Have you ever wondered what happens to old semi-trucks after they've racked up millions of miles? Do they just disappear, or do they go on to live a second life somewhere else? The answer might surprise you, and it's different depending on whether we're talking about the US or Europe. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll never look at an old truck the same way again. Let's start with some numbers. In the United States, the average semi-truck racks up around 100,000 to 150,000 miles per year. That's like driving around the Earth 6 times every single year. With proper maintenance, an American semi-truck can last anywhere from 15 to 20 years and 1 to 2 million miles before it's considered too old for long-haul work. Some trucks, especially owner-operated rigs with meticulous upkeep, have been known to exceed 3 million miles, proving just how durable these machines can be. Meanwhile, in Europe, trucks don't cover quite as much ground due to shorter delivery routes and stricter regulations. The average European truck clocks in around 60,000 to 90,000 miles per year, and they typically last 12 to 15 years before being replaced by newer, more fuel-efficient models. But here's where it gets interesting. Just because a truck is retired from long-haul service doesn't mean it's done for good. In the United States, when a truck has put in its years, it often takes a one-way trip south. Many of these rigs get sold to Mexico and Central America, where they continue working for another 10 to 15 years, sometimes even longer. Why? Well, in many of these countries, emissions laws are more relaxed, and the cost of a used American truck is far more affordable than buying a brand new one. These trucks often get repainted, receive mechanical overhauls, and continue hauling goods through rugged terrains and high-mileage routes that would be too costly for newer fleets to handle. Meanwhile, in Europe, the pattern is similar but slightly different. Old trucks from countries like Germany, Sweden, and the Netherlands often get sold and sent south or east to places like Poland, Lithuania, and Eastern Europe. And after that, they might even go to places like Africa, Pakistan, or Iran. These trucks find new life in industries like agriculture, construction, and regional freight transport. In places like Africa, trucks that would be deemed obsolete in Western Europe are still seen as reliable workhorses, running for another 20 years or more with basic maintenance and repairs. And just like in Mexico, these trucks get a second lease on life, serving in smaller fleets, local businesses, or short-haul transport for another 10 to 20 years. But what happens when they're too old even for these secondary markets? No trucks last forever. After decades of service and millions of miles, even the toughest rigs eventually break down beyond repair. But that doesn't mean they're completely useless. Many of these old trucks end up in scrapyards where they're dismantled for parts. Engines, transmissions, axles, and other mechanical components that still have life left in them get refurbished and resold, often going right back into the trucking industry to keep other trucks running. Tires, electrical systems, and even cabs can be repurposed, allowing these old giants to contribute to newer vehicles still on the road. Some trucks even get converted into stationary power generators or other industrial applications. But for most, the final chapter involves getting crushed, shredded, and recycled with the metal going into new vehicles, buildings, or even everyday items like soda cans. But not all old trucks fade away. Some become legends. Certain truck models, especially rare or historically significant ones, are restored by enthusiasts and collectors who want to preserve trucking history. In the US, old Peterbilts, Kenworths, and Mack trucks are often kept in pristine condition and shown off at classic truck shows. Some are even fully restored and used for special occasions, parade runs, or just to relive the golden days of trucking. In Europe, vintage Volvo, Scania, and Mercedes-Benz trucks are treasured by collectors who keep them in immaculate shape for exhibitions and road events. These restored rigs stand as a testament to the evolution of trucking and the craftsmanship of older generations. So, while most old trucks end up in scrapyards, a lucky few get a second chance, not as workhorses, but as icons of the road. So, the next time you see an old semi-truck on the road, just think it's probably been on an incredible journey across multiple countries, through millions of miles, and over decades of hard work. And who knows, that truck might still have years of life left ahead of it, just in a different part of the world or as a fully restored classic. Now, what do you think? Should trucks be retired sooner for safety and environmental reasons, or should they be kept on the road as long as possible? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other trucking stories. See you in the next one.